International Conference on Social Science, Humanities and Management Studies ICSHMS-March 2022 with the title Investigating Agile Supply Chains on Sustainable Performance of Manufacturing Industries, presented by Istimaroh. The content of presentation is introduction, purpose, methodology, hypothesis, respondent profile, key finding, managerial implication, originality, and limited of the study. The majority of the strategic difficulties that industry face today are the result of new competition restriction, supply chain disruption, pricing pressure from globalization, and the customer bargaining power. As the driver of sustainable performance, agile supply chains and supply chain responsiveness are able to adjust quickly to change in the market and customer need. The current study provides insight into the ideas of agile supply chains, supply chain responsiveness, and sustainable performance. This study also includes a framework for the relationship between the agile supply chains and sustainable performance with supply chain responsiveness as a mediating. The purpose of the study is to investigate the effect of agile supply chains on sustainable performance with supply chain responsiveness as mediating. Based on the framework, there are four hypotheses. The first is agile supply chain practices has statistical impact on supply chain responsiveness in Malaysian manufacturing companies. The second hypothesis is agile supply chain practices has statistical impact on sustainable performance in Malaysian manufacturing companies. The third, supply chain responsiveness has statistical impact on sustainable performance in Malaysian manufacturing companies. The last is agile supply chain practices has statistical impact on sustainable performance with mediating effect of supply chain responsiveness in Malaysian manufacturing companies. To examine the four hypotheses using the methodology, the survey was conducted among 231 operation management from medium and large enterprises in Federation Malaysian Manufacturing using database 2018. The questionnaire includes demographic, introductory, and main question. The research hypotheses were examined using SMART PLS version 3.2.9. They determine the existence of relationship between agile supply chain practices, supply chain responsiveness, and sustainable performance. The demographic rate of respondent profile, the first is using the area of manufacturing. The questionnaire were distributed proportionately in category, whereas 23% of respondents from the food industry, 15% of respondents from chemical and semi-good product, followed by 31% respondents from rubber and plastic product, and 10% of respondents from the computer, electronic, and optical industry. Then 16% of respondents from automotive and component industry, and among 5 respondents from others manufacturing. Besides that, the growing of environment issue have forced manufacturing industry to adapt an implementation of environmental management system using the ISO 140001 has become the important environment standard for all companies irrespective of their size, sector, or nature worldwide. The companies have a higher tendency in getting ISO certificate by adding environment value to improve sustainable performance and foster industrial development. In this study, the rate occurring of using the ISO certification by companies is measurable high. In this country, amount 91.7%, so just 8.3% are not certified by the ISO 14001. In terms of job function, 28% work as managing director or above, there is 26 as working of supply chain manager. Moreover, 16 19 of respondents work as processing manager, while 20% of respondents work as operation manager. There are 5% of respondents from the plant manager and 2% from others. In terms of job experience, there are what range of experience among the respondents, ranging less than 5 years to more than 10 years. There are 35% of respondents have less than 5 years of experience, with having less than 5 years. In addition, to 35% between 5 and 10 years experience. Further, 42% belong to the category of people with more than 10 years of experience in workplace. Thus, the majority of respondents are well versed in their respective industries and have a lot of experience in their respective field. The finding of the examine the hypotheses are statistical analysis prove the proposed hypothesis. The first is positive and significant relationship was found between agile supply chains and supply chain responsiveness to answer the first hypothesis. The second positive relationship was found between agile supply chains and sustainable performance supported to the second hypothesis. The significant effect was found between supply chain responsiveness and sustainable performance supported for the third hypothesis. And the last positive and significant effect also was found that supply chain responsiveness as partial mediation between agile supply chain and sustainable performance to answer the fourth hypothesis. The results of this study have practical implications for industrial executives. They can recognize agile supply chains practices that can help manufacturing companies achieve sustainable performance. The findings are particularly valuable in assisting manufacturing company managers in revising the present supply chain management model by taking into account the selected agile supply chain practices that contribute more to sustainable firm performance. The positive and significant impact of responding quickly, information technology and marketing capability in agile supply chains on sustainable performance imply that the practices should be combined to improve the firm's sustainable performance. Moreover, managers should also pay close attention to the establishment of operation system, logistic process, supplier network in a supply chain responsiveness in order to enable fulfillment of unpredictable demand that also improve the effect of agile supply chain as well on sustainable performance. From the academician, the implication add to the body of knowledge by identifying the significance of agile supply chain practices in improving organization sustainable performance and investigating the effect of relationship between supply chain responsiveness and agile supply chain practices on sustainable performance. This study is investigating the correlation between agile supply chain and sustainable performance, again based on the premise that supply chain's responsiveness influence to achieve sustainable performance for manufacturing industries. This study is limited to one country under investigation, therefore further research need to be extended to other countries. The survey is conducted in a period of low economic growth in the country. In order to as the generalized ability of the finding, it is suggested to repeat the research in the stable economic. Thank you for the attention this presentation. Assalamualaikum.